All right. Hi, and welcome everyone to the webinar today. Hi, Bryn. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing, Julia?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing well.
Perfect. Well, we're super excited to have you as our special guest this week. And a fun fact for everyone here is that today's our first webinar that we've held where all three of our Cledara hosts are actually from our Denver office.
Yeah, you're right, Julia. We're representing Cledara from the US today, but excited to welcome attendees from all over.
Yes, definitely. Okay, since we only have 30 minutes and we have a lot to cover today, just want to start with a couple of quick housekeeping items. So the first is that we have a lot of Cledara customers joining us today, which is great to see. We also have a few attendees who are not yet Cledara customers. So if you are one of those people and you're interested in having a conversation about what we can do for you, please use the poll below to enter in your name and your email, and then a member of our team will reach out to you after the session. And then second thing is we have some time saved at the end of the webinar today for a Q&A session with Michael, Bryn, and myself. So throughout the webinar, please share any questions that come up that you have for us in the Q&A section below, and then we'll do our best to answer those at the end of the webinar too. Okay, looks like we still have some people trickling in, but let's get started here. So I'll get started with some quick introduction. So I'm Julia Wickman, a member of the customer success team here at Cledara. Joining me today is my teammate Bryn Gallagher, and then Michael Agombar, who is a product manager here at Cledara. So without further ado, Bryn, I will pass it off to you to kick off the fireside chat.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Michael. I think it'd be great to start by hearing about what led you to your role as a product manager at Cledara.
Yeah, awesome. Well, first, super excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. So how I sort of started my product career, right? And I think it's super interesting that there's not an actual defined journey for product managers to really become product managers. There's no undergraduate degree, no graduate degree that says like, cool, okay, now I'm ready to go be a product manager. And after undergrad, I started as a engineer, visualizing data so foreign exchange traders could make more informed decisions. Full disclosure among friends here, I was not a great engineer, and I certainly didn't love that role, but I did love working with people and with data to solve problems. So with this realization, I decided to get a master's degree in human computer interaction from DePaul University in Chicago, where I spent a year as a UX researcher at the Art Institute of Chicago. And again, I'll just tell you guys that this was maybe the coolest job anyone has ever had. As a big art lover, I was able to walk into the galleries at the Art Institute of Chicago and like turn on the lights, right? I'd get there at like 7 a.m. I'd have the galleries to myself, and it was just awesome. Even though I love this job, I wanted to be even closer to business problems and a little bit more upstream about what we were actually building. So then I started looking for product roles and have spent about 7 or 8 years in product consultancy, where I would actually encourage a lot of new product managers to spend their time. It was great being able to work on a lot of different projects within different companies, within different markets, with different stakeholders, with different challenges to really be able to create a well-rounded view of how to do product. Ultimately, I love helping people do things easier, right? And achieve their goals and solve problems in a lot more effective and efficient manner, which is sort of what led me to product and certainly what's keeping me in product as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. I know I speak for everyone here at Cledara when I say that we're really glad that you ended up at our company. We're really, really lucky to work with you. So I think next, an interesting story that would be great to hear is exactly how Cledara came to be. So why it was founded and what problem we're trying to solve as a company.
Yeah, absolutely. So Christina, our co-founder CEO, was working at a large bank doing a lot of change management. And throughout that change management, a lot of her responsibility was really figuring out what software was being used, what software this organization should be using, and how to most effectively manage that software. Started realizing that, there isn't actually tools out there other than a spreadsheet, which some of you, might be familiar with. started realizing this was a problem. And then as Christina moved positions to a scaling startup, also realized that they had no sort of idea about the software. There was unused subscriptions that were being paid for, no one was really using, subscriptions that people didn't even realize they were paying for, so on and so forth. And really, as a company, we're looking to solve that. We're looking to enable the people buying, managing, canceling, and discovering software at their company. In short, we're looking to make SaaS management a lot easier.
Love that. It's always the goal. Can you tell us, Michael, who Cledara is designed to serve and what unique value it provides to them?
Yeah, so we have about 4 personas that we think of, and certainly we have sub personas within these personas. Finance, right? We offer our digital cards, our reporting functionality, forecasts, upcoming renewals, and a whole host of other value for the finance persona. For the IT persona, we provide usage information on the applications within your company, as well as informal SaaS or shadow IT as well. Operation personas, we provide more approval flows and on and offboarding of your employees. And then with the regular user, the regular sort of employee at a company, we provide the one true list of software at the company with the ability to request access to software and add new applications as well.
Perfect. So today we're going to be hearing a lot about the product team. So it'd be great to hear who actually makes up our amazing product team here at Cledara.
Sure. Yeah. So we have 3 product managers, a designer, and then a ton of engineers sort of spread across the globe. And what's really great about how the product team is sort of spread out is we have myself, who is in Denver, that is fortunate enough to sit alongside you, Bryn, and Julia on the customer success team. We have a product manager in London who really sits close to the sales team. And then we also have a product manager in Barcelona, which is where our support and operations team really sits. So as a product team, we consistently come together and share all of our learning from the success team, from the sales team, from the support and operations team, that allows us to get a much more rounded sort of view of all of the sort of input that we're getting from different areas of the business and market.
Cool. Thanks for sharing about the team. It's nice to hear how you collaborate from all over. I know you started out today by talking about your background. Can you tell me about how your background is suited to work on Cledara's product team?
Yeah, so this is a great question, right? So I think with consultancy, as I was saying, that really allows you to gain just a lot deeper of an understanding of different personas and markets, right? I've been able to lead large projects for companies like Champion, Ally Financial, Under Armour, Kaiser Permanente, and probably a few others that I'm forgetting there. But also had the fortune to scale products for newly funded startups as well, from 0 to 1, or even build their first product. So really have a lot of different experience from all sides of product management, and being able to sort of take that and really zero in within Cledara has been very helpful. In my background, I've worked a lot with data, and throughout my graduate degree in human-computer interaction was very research focused. And one of the reasons that I'm just love working at Cledara and was really excited was the incredible customer community that we have. We always love speaking with our customers, with our prospects, and so on and so forth. And that's really what fills me up, right? Not just as a product manager, but as a person. And that's the best part about product for me. And being able to get that feedback so consistently is just an incredible experience.
Perfect. I agree. We do have the best customer community, I think. So what exactly is a product team responsible for at Cledara, Michael?
Yeah, so in short, we're responsible for ensuring that we're helping our customers solve their problems in a delightful and efficient manner.
Love it. Okay, so I have a 2-parter here as we get deeper into the theme for our webinar. What do you focus on when making decisions, and how does the product team at Cledara make decisions on what we're going to build or enhance?
Sure. So I guess we have a framework that I'm sure a lot of product teams sort of follow as well, that I'll maybe just run through. So number one is our vision. Our vision is to enable the person discovering, buying, managing, and canceling software at their company so they can have better lives, right? I know that can kind of sound cliche and maybe a little bit corny, but if we are enabling this discovery, buying, managing, and canceling process, we feel that we can then enable people to focus on a lot more impactful things for their business, right? They can focus on maybe revenue driving operations or efficiency driving operations, so on and so forth. So everything that we do we want to ladder that up to this vision. Lots of companies have visions, lots of products have visions. And I'll tell you, this is probably the only experience that I've had throughout my career that the vision isn't just sort of like plastered on a wall in an office. And we actually think about this as we drop into the nitty gritty of software development. Our engineers, our designers will say, does this enable management? Does this enable cancellation? So on and so forth. And it's something that we continue to promote in daily conversations. The next is enhancements, right? Product enhancements, really just improvements to the existing product. How can we make things more effective and more efficient for our customer base? Always looking to just, really improve consistently. And then lastly, these sort of all tie together, right? But customer feedback. How we intake customer feedback is maybe a series of interviews, right? And how we do interviews is we have a more general interview style that will ask, what are you trying to do? How do you currently do it now? How would you like it done in the future? We also have a more feature specific interview that we say, hey, we heard you, the first time, or we've spoken to others, in your maybe situation, we think that we have a solution. Does this solve the problem in that effective and efficient manner? We do surveys very similar, more global survey, and then a more sort of inline survey. So if you are a customer of Cledara and you've seen maybe the report section, you might have seen an inline survey there. If you have seen it and haven't taken it, please do take the survey. We take it very seriously and love that feedback. We look at behavioral data, right? So where are customers falling off on some of their key jobs and how do we optimize for those? And then obviously our customer community through Slack, we gather a lot of feedback as well. I think there was two parts there and I'm not sure if I actually answered the two parts. Could you repeat that, Bryn?
Yeah, I think you did. So the second part was, how does the product team at Cledara make decisions on what we're going to build or enhance? So I think you covered that.
Cool. Yeah. And I guess even further, right? So we have these three maybe buckets: the vision, enhancements, and customer feedback. And really when we decide, what to actually build, what goes into design, what goes into development, what we're looking for is signals, right? Signals that we should and should not build something. Once we feel we have enough signals that say like, yes, this is something that the market needs, that our customers need, that our team needs, we'll start looking at effort versus impact. What is, maybe low effort, high impact? Let's get to those immediately and knock those out. What is maybe higher effort, lower impact sort of falls down the backlog priority order. It certainly doesn't mean that we're only, tackling low effort things. We do like to make bigger bets that are maybe higher effort, a lot higher impact as well.
Perfect. So in terms of those conversations happening and looking for signals, what teams are actually involved in the internal conversations at Cledara?
Yeah, honestly, all the teams, right? So Cledara is such an incredibly collaborative company. So every team really is involved. Product team looks for signals from specific teams as well. So when we sort of have an idea that we've seen enough signals from the market or prospects or a data to sort of take forward to the next step, we'll go through a little bit of, just an interview process within Cledara. We'll meet with the success team, share our ideas, share our solution. We'll meet with the sales team, the success support team, our leadership team, so on and so forth, really to ensure that we're all aligned on this is what we should build and why. And I'll be honest, right? There's been times that we share things with the sales team or the success team or the support team, and they're just like, I don't know if this is this is it, right? So we get those signals from the team to say, maybe we should stop spending our energy here because that might not be the most impactful thing for the business to work on. So very collaborative, and it's just great that, you know, everyone can be a product manager, everyone can think like a product manager, and that's something that we definitely take very seriously at Cledara.
Awesome. Appreciate that. All right. So next, we'd love to hear about a feature that your team built based on customer feedback, and what were the results?
Yeah, man, that's a good one. I think probably the first one that comes to mind is the reports feature. I know I just mentioned it there. So we have our cards, right? And forecasted spend and historical spend data, but we never really had a place to consolidate all of that analysis for our customers. So we would get a lot of feedback, whether it's coming in through the success team, through the support team, through our surveys, or even just conversations that we're having as a product team with customers, really saying, you know, I know you guys have this data, please share it with us. So that's exactly what we did. We launched the reporting feature maybe 3 months ago. At this stage, we went through a series of customer interviews, a series of usability tests, and then we also have, you know, a backlog of those enhancements that we're ready to move on and are continuing to move on. So far, what we've seen with reports is that about 50% or so of our customer base use this feature frequently. And what we're seeing, very, very interesting, is that when users are adopting the reports feature, they're actually adopting more of Cledara as a whole. So the more that they use the reporting feature, the more other features that they're also using. As a product person, we're also collecting more feedback from these customers as well. They're more willing to help, you know, they're more willing to give us ideas on what we should be doing next. And so, you know, really a feature that was born from customer ideas, and exciting to see how we can continue to improve this.
Perfect. Yeah. And like Michael said, we love customer feedback here at Cledara. So all of our customers here today, always share that with your success manager, with Michael and his team. So I guess next question, it's probably something that's on everyone's mind here today. But what is on the product roadmap for 2024? What can you tell us about what to expect?
Yeah, so we'll definitely not share any dates or anything. Full disclosure here. But really in 2024, what we're looking to do is just improve the product, right? We're just really focus on how we can make solutions more effective and more efficient. So what does that look like, improve the product, and where do we want to spend our time improving the product? Engage, right? Our Engage feature is incredibly valuable for our customers right now. How can we make it that much more valuable? How can we make it a little bit more usable, a little bit more delightful to use? How do we take that data maybe from Engage or from those you know, financial spend, and share that data across the platform as well, so the data is in the right place at the right time to make it more effective and more efficient? We recently launched a benchmark and negotiation tool that we have a lot of ideas on how to improve, and exactly what we're saying, right? Customer feedback is incredibly important here. So if you have been using that, please reach out. Always happy to jump on a call with anyone to hear you and you know, understand how you would like this solved in the future. And then lastly, invoice capture improvements and matching. So really ensuring that we're matching even more invoices for our customers, taking information out of invoices and putting them directly into Cledara as well. So and reports is, I know we just talked about that. So certainly not an exhaustive list of what we're looking at for 2024, but hopefully just some, I guess, a little bit of insight into what we are thinking about.
Love it. Sometimes I can't even think about tomorrow. So the fact that you have some stuff on the roadmap for 2024 is fantastic. I appreciate that glimpse. If you could tell us what excites you most about Cledara's future as a company, I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah, so I've been at Cledara for about a year now, and really we're just getting started, right? And that's how I feel about the product team. That's how I feel about the product, and that's how I feel about the organization as a whole. We have so much traction. We have so much opportunity within this market to really deliver such extreme type of value for a whole host of different personas. And it's just so exciting to sort of start seeing that value come to life. And I think 2024 is going to be an incredible time for us.
Totally agree, Michael. Last question before we jump into the Q&A. And while we're talking about the future, is there a specific feature or any initiatives coming up within Cledara that you're particularly excited about when it comes to our product?
Yeah, I guess this is super hot in the tech space right now is AI, right? And like a good tech nerd that I am, I'm very excited about AI in general, but certainly very excited about infusing more AI into the Cledara product so we can hopefully make solutions more effective and more efficient. So exactly how does that look? We have ideas, we have concepts, we have prototypes, still obviously fleshing that out, but a very exciting time in the technology space, and very exciting for Cledara as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michael. It was really amazing to hear so much about Cledara's story and how the product team makes decisions and everything that goes into it. So now we're going to open it up for customer questions. So if you haven't already, please add all your questions you have for Michael or the success team in the chat below for Q&A. And then I will pass it over to Bryn to get started. It looks like we have a couple.
Okay, so the first one that's rolled in, what improvements can users expect in terms of invoice processing or management?
Yeah, so invoice processing, right? And for those that might not know, is Cledara is able to match invoices to specific subscriptions automatically for our customers. That's not 100% all of the time for 100% of our customers. And that's really where we're trying to drive to. So how do we continue to improve the percentage of invoices being matched is really one part of an invoice, let's say, improvement, right? The second part is how do we start taking information out of invoices and put them back into Cledara. So can we put your seats, right? How many seats or licenses or I guess subscriptions you pay for a specific application? Can we automatically detect that from an invoice and put that directly into Cledara? So maybe just a few ideas about how invoices could look in the future.
Awesome,
Perfect.
thanks. So the next one says, hi, Michael, excellent presentation. I'm curious about situations where a user has a specific need that falls outside the current roadmap for the next 6 to 12 months. How does the product team typically handle such requests, ensuring alignment with the overall plan while addressing immediate user needs? Great question.
Yeah, and this is a great question. And it's tough, right? To be very transparent, it's tough. As a product person, right? I think, Julia, you might have asked, what is the goal of the product team? And it's to ensure that we're building solutions in a delightful way, right? Unfortunately, we're not able to always take 100% of customer requests and feedback on. I would love it if we were able to do that, right? That's just not something that we're able to do at this stage. But really, it's all about signals, right? So if we hear from 10, 15, 20 customers that this is something they would love to see, then those signals start moving that item further up in the backlog. We also have taken requests sort of maybe one-off, very, very infrequently, I'll say. As we know, for some customers, it's a very big deal, and maybe they're not able to continue using Cledara. That would be something that we would take on a one-to-one decision basis, if that makes sense. So a very tough predicament at times, and part of the job for sure.
Definitely. All right. Next question. How will these changes streamline processes for businesses?
Yeah, so at Cledara, right, as we were saying, make SaaS management a lot easier. So hopefully all of these changes do make software management a lot easier. It makes understanding what you have much easier. Think about that seat utilization piece that we're just talking about. That's directly in your Cledara. Hopefully will soon be directly in your Cledara. So giving you all of the information you need at your fingertips to make decisions from a bedrock of insights, right? From a very informed perspective. If we can give more data, more insights, more understanding on how our customers are using their software, we really believe that that software management becomes a lot easier, right, to manage as well. So time saving, better decisions, cost saving, as well as maybe hopefully the three things that we're really looking to drive for our customers.
Okay. Next up, how does customer feedback influence the direction of Cledara?
Yeah, lots, right? A ton, and it's incredibly important to hear from our customers, right? As a product person, we need to be experts on the markets and experts for our customer. We also need to innovate on behalf of our customer as well. So customer feedback is just incredibly important. Maybe I'll share a little bit of an example that we heard lots of customer feedback about the report section as well, and we went through designs, went through some prototypes, started sharing that back with customers, and our feedback, the signals that we were getting, were like, this would help, but I think it could help even more. So we went back to the drawing board, started improving based on this feedback, and started coming to a lot more of a tighter solution, let's say. When we went through that second round of interviews, or maybe even the third round at this stage, we were a lot closer to the solution. So it certainly impacts a lot that we do on a very consistent basis.
Perfect. Another question here, we may know it's about an HR tool. So are there any plans to integrate with Rippling to improve the on and offboarding feature we just launched?
Yeah, this is a great question. One that I don't have an answer for, that I probably should right now. I do know that we're currently in the process of integrating with various HR tools. Is Rippling on that list? I'm not 1,000% sure. If this person who asked would maybe leave their email address, we can certainly follow up with a more direct answer right after the call, really.
Perfect. Okay, that looks like all of our questions here with a few minutes to spare. So I want to thank everyone here for joining us today. Reminder that we'll send out the recording for this webinar here shortly. If there is anyone here who's not a customer, again, please drop your name and your email address and a member of our team can reach out to you. And Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really wonderful to hear about all your experience and about the product team as a whole. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love talking about product in general. So again, I just want to make sure that everyone on the call or watching the recording knows that I'm always available to hop on a call, to answer any emails, to have a Slack conversation, whatever is the best way for you to get that feedback, to understand how you want problems to be solved, or even if you just want to talk about product. I love it, right? So please reach out.
Wonderful. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Bryn.
Thanks
Have
so
a great day,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.